Clinch Capital here. I'm going to give you the 7 reasons on why 20K invested is like having a Call of Duty chopper gunner. Let's get right into it. Reason number 1 is the grind to unlock. Now, getting a Call of Duty chopper gunner, it's going to require a lot of focus. It's going to require skills. And most importantly, it requires avoiding early deaths. And if you ever got a chopper gunner in Call of Duty, which I'm sure you had if you're watching this video, those early deaths can be a real pain. Maybe you're on a 4 or 5 kill streak, you get killed early. It's frustrating. And how this is similar to 20K invested is 20K invested requires saving or boosting your income. That's number 1. Number 2, it's going to require budgeting. You need to know how much money you're spending a month, what your monthly burn is, and then how much you have extra to invest. That's going to help you get to that 20K invested faster. And most importantly, 20K invested requires foregoing early, immediate pleasures. One big example I can think of is buying a new car with high interest. A lot of people, they start making more money. They go out there, they get that new car. That's called lifestyle inflation. That's going to be something you want to avoid if you're trying to invest 20K or even more. Another big early, immediate pleasure, I would say, would be credit card debt. This is something that's really common in America. People just rack up their credit cards and then pay the minimum every month. I kind of think you should use credit cards sparingly. And when you do use a credit card to pay, I always try to pay it off in full right away. That's just what I do. Now, reason number 2 that 20K invested is like a Call of Duty chopper gunner is with a Call of Duty chopper gunner, you're getting automated power. And with 20K invested, you're getting passive income. So similar there. One has automated power, passive income. Now, a Call of Duty chopper gunner, once you get that chopper gunner, you're no longer worried about enemy fire. Essentially, you control the map, and you're controlling it from a safe, untouchable position. This is like having 20K invested. Like, for instance, if you have 20K invested in an S&P 500 ETF, let's say VOO, for example, that is going to grow passively. Monday through Friday, when you're sleeping, your money is growing, it's paying dividends, and it's building your wealth, increasing your portfolio while you sleep. This is like having a Call of Duty chopper gunner. You're increasing your kill streaks, you're increasing your kills, your KD ratio is going up, and you're just lounging there on the map somewhere comfortable. Now, reason number 3 that 20K invested is like having a Call of Duty chopper gunner is what's called the Snowball Effect or compound growth. Now, for example, in Call of Duty, you get a chopper gunner, that's often going to lead to another kill streak if you got something above that, or just a general victory in the game. When you get that Call of Duty chopper gunner, you're stacking up kills and you're just boosting your KD ratio. This is like investing 20K. Once you have 20K invested, with a 10% return in dividends, your money really begins to compound here. Now, on average, they say every 7 years you can double your money with the S&P 500. 10% return a year. You can easily double your money with that initial investment. And the cool part is you don't need to just stick to 20K. You can keep building more investments, keep dollar cost averaging into the market. Now, reason number 4 that 20K invested is like a Call of Duty chopper gunner is you win the game. When you get a Call of Duty chopper gunner, it's devastating. It's demoralizing for the other team. And usually what happens is the first team to get a chopper gunner will usually win the game. And that's kind of like having 20K invested. Once you have 20K invested, you've built the habits of investing. Now, historical data shows 20K invested in the S&P 500 today from 10 years ago. If I invested 20K 10 years ago, that money now would be worth 63,000 American dollars. Now, if you were to take that same 20K and have invested it into some tech-heavy ETF, like QQQM, for example, that same 20K today would be worth $97,000. So you took 20K and you almost made it into 100,000 by investing it. Now, this is like a chopper gunner. Once you get that chopper gunner, you start stacking up the kills. Like if the kills were your investment, they just start going up and up and up. And you're getting to play from a safe spot. You're relaxing while it's being built. Now, reason number 5 why 20K invested is like a Call of Duty chopper gunner is because now the habit is built. I don't know if you remember your first ever chopper gunner in Call of Duty, but it was like a dopamine rush, and there's like a little bit of anxiety when you're getting close to that chopper gunner kill streak. But once you get one chopper gunner, it seems like you start getting chopper gunners left and right every couple games, maybe even every game you start getting a chopper gunner, because now you have the skill of getting chopper gunners. You're better at getting chopper gunners. You learn to play smarter. You learn to use kill streaks strategically to get your next chopper gunner. You understand what you need to do to get that chopper gunner. And that's exactly like having 20K invested. Once you've made the good habit investing, you don't stop. You got 20K invested. You're now an investor. You now get to see your net worth build. You go from 20K to 50K to 100K. And then soon, the next thing you know, you're a millionaire. You've made the habit. You avoid the early deaths. You avoid the bad debt. And you don't get the new car with the high interest rate. Becoming an investor really changes the way you see money. You start seeing money as more of a tool to keep growing more money instead of just something to buy something that gives you temporary satisfaction. Now, reason number 6 why 20K invested is like having a Call of Duty chopper gunner is once you get your chopper gunner, the game is easy. Now you just get to sit back and enjoy. You get to appreciate the fruits of your labor. You're getting triple kills left and right. Maybe you get a couple quad feeds while you're just laying down somewhere controlling this chopper gunner. It's almost totally passive. Now, investing 20K is kind of like that milestone of a chopper gunner where you have more freedom. If you have 20K invested, certain bills are not going to break you. You're no longer forced to stay at a job that you don't want to stay at if you really don't enjoy it. You can start thinking of job hopping or maybe trying to find a job with a higher income. Having 1 month or 2 months without an income isn't really going to break you necessarily. Life gets a lot easier once you have some money invested and once your money is actually making you more money. And that's why 20K is such a big financial milestone for having that invested. Now, reason number 7, the final reason why 20K invested is like having a Call of Duty chopper gunner. At this point, the game gets fun. When you're playing Call of Duty and you get that chopper gunner and you ride off into the map with that and you see the whole enemy team spawn in the open, it's like Christmas morning. It's over for them. When you have that chopper gunner and you stack up quad kill after quad kill, triple kill, double kill, as you just dominate the entire team, it's so much fun. Now, if you've ever been on the receiving end of that and you're like playing a game and you're just keep spawning and spawn killed by a chopper gunner, it's absolutely demoralizing. So you want to be on the winning side, and that's where having 20K invested is like having that chopper gunner. At this point, your money begins to make you more money, and investing really gets addictive in like a good sense. You start to understand the power of compound interest, and now you just want to keep building. Now you understand that investing money makes you more money, and it's fun. It's more fun than buying a new material thing. Like sometimes you'll look at the cost of something at this point and think, well, if I were to just put this in the S&P 500, I'd probably have like this much in this many years. And there's this really interesting fact about time and investing. If you're 20 years old and you're watching this, I'm assuming most of you are in your 20s or 30s. But a dollar when you're in your 20s, if you were to just invest that and wait until you were 65, that same dollar will grow to $88. So you have the potential to 88 times your money by just investing in the S&P 500. If you're 20, you have so much time on your side, and it's such a big benefit. And that's where that first 20K invested, it really shows you that lesson of like what my money can do and how it becomes to really grow. So having 20K invested, it's going to make you more money. The really exciting thing is when you keep investing, though, you keep dollar cost averaging, you keep taking a percentage of each paycheck and putting it into the market, you start to see what's really possible. And at one point, there becomes a day when your investment portfolio starts to make you more than your day job. And this is when it gets really addictive. And at this point, you want to just keep on going. And that's what I recommend is just this 20K. It's not a final benchmark, but it's definitely like a turning point in your mind where you start to realize the power of money, the power of compounding, how I can like snowball affect my income to make it keep growing and keep growing. You can set a goal for financial freedom or maybe retiring more early than you anticipated. And investing is the way to get there. And that's really why 20K invested is like having a chopper gunner. Those are my 7 reasons. If you've made it this far in the video, I'd appreciate some feedback. Maybe like drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. If there's something you think I missed or something else you want to add, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Thank you for watching. As usual, I appreciate you.